This footage looked basic and lifeless, but after adding some music, sound effects, and audio tricks, it looks like this. And in this video, I'll show you the exact audio tricks and techniques that I used, most of which you can do in any editing software. So let's dive in. So on my timeline, I have a bunch of really cool luxury clips that I got from a free stock footage site called Pexels. But the problem is, none of these clips came with audio. And so if we watch it back, it looks cool, but there's no audio immersion. So to really bring this to life, we need to add some music and some sound effects. But finding amazing music and sound effects like what we used in this video is just not easy, especially when you're trying not to get sued for copyright issues, which is where the sponsor of this video, Audio, can help. Now there are a ton of these royalty-free music and sound effects sites out there, but especially for video editors, I think Audio is one of the best options for a few reasons. The first is the insane value. Video editing, especially as a beginner, can be a difficult career to actually make money from, and most royalty-free platforms are pretty pricey. But with Audio, you can get access to thousands of their royalty-free tracks and sound effects for just $59 a year. Now that is a special 70% discounted offer that you can get by clicking my link in the description below and then using the code Gavin Herman at checkout. The second reason is this wild feature they have called Hans, which is basically an AI that helps you find the perfect track for your video. All you do is describe your scene and it gives you songs that fit perfectly within seconds. The third reason is a feature called stems, which allows you to isolate certain elements of different tracks. So if you love the drums on a track, you can isolate them and download them, which is amazing if you're anything like me and you want full control over the creative process. So again, the link is in the description below, and my code will save you 70% off of your first year. And it helps support my channel at the same time. Now I've gone onto Audio and downloaded some music and some sound effects that we can use in this video. And that is a huge step out of the way. But now we have to actually use this audio to bring this video to life. So I'm gonna start with just the song that we downloaded here and drag this onto our timeline. And if we play this back, you can hear that we have a lot of really aggressive bass hits. So we have 4 right at the beginning here, and then we have 1 here, and then another here, and that's great, but our clips are moving really slowly. Like we have a 3-second clip here, followed by another 3-second clip, and then a 4-second clip. And so what we can do to make this video much more engaging is shorten these clips up and match them to the beat. So I'm gonna start with this first clip, and I'm gonna come to the first point on our timeline where this beat hits. And then I'm going to make a cut at this point, and I'm going to click on this clip right here and then add a zoom. So if we play this back, you see now that when the second beat hits, we zoom in. And I'm gonna do the same thing for these other beats here. And so I'll make a cut right on this last beat here and then zoom this into 105. And so now we have 4 really cool zooms. And when this next beat hits, I want to switch scenes. So I'll make a cut here and then I'll delete this footage here and then drag this other footage over. Then we have another drop right here. So we're just gonna keep editing this footage to the beat. So we'll drag this clip over. We'll drag this footage over now. But when I get to this watch clip, I want to switch things up a little bit. So I'm gonna make a cut in the audio here, right before the next beat drops. And then I'll just drag this over. And I want to use this sound effect we downloaded from Audio, which is a clock ticking. Now to really make sure the clock ticking sound effect is timed up with the movement of the hand here, I'm going to disable this audio right here. Because if we play this back right now, it's really loud and we can't hear the clock ticking. So I can do this by right-clicking on this audio, coming up to enable and clicking on that. And then you can see it disables the clip and makes it darker here. So now if we play this back, you can't hear it at all. So now we can match this up with the hand moving on our video. We have an extra tick in between, so we should get rid of this. And we can do this by using our razor tool and then just making a cut before and after this audio waveform right here, and then hitting delete. Perfect. And now we can do that for the rest of the ticks. Boom, boom, boom. And now we can come back to this clip that we disabled earlier and right click and then enable it. And you can use shortcuts to enable and disable clips quicker if you want to. Now, when this next drop hits, I want this person's hand to be slamming on this bell. So I will trim this clip at the start and then drag this over to where the music starts again. Then I'm going to drag this clip back out so that it matches up with the clock ticking right here, so that we have a nice audio transition from the video of the watch into the video of the hand hitting the bell. Cool, so let's continue with the very end of our video right here and drag this clip over. And then we can make a cut at the end of our audio right here when it ends, and click on this last part and just hit delete. So that is how you cut to the beat. Now, one more thing I want to show you is fading out audio, because our music at the end here ends very abruptly, but we can add a fade to this audio to make it sound more natural. So there are a couple ways we can do this. The first way is adding transitions. So if I come to our effects panel over here, go to audio transitions, crossfade, and then constant power, we can drag this onto the end of our clip here. And if we play this back now, you'll see it has a slight fade. Another way we can do this is clicking, holding, and dragging on this little fade handle here. If we drag it to the left, you can see that it adds the same fade that we just had to the end of our music clip. And the further you drag it left, the longer the fade duration will be. And so the more smooth and gradual it will be as well. So that's great, but it's a little bit boring, especially given how fast-paced the video was itself. Having a slow fade at the end doesn't seem like it really fits here. So I'm gonna end the video with a reverb echo effect. So let me show you how we can do this. The first thing we need to do is duplicate this layer onto another layer. And we can do that by holding Option or Control on Windows and dragging this clip down onto a new audio layer. Then we can come up to the audio track mixer up here and open that up. Now we're using the audio track mixer because it allows us to apply effects to entire audio tracks instead of just applying the audio effects directly to a specific audio clip. So if I have this audio clip here, it is on audio track 6. So if I come up to the audio track mixer, we can see that audio track 6 is right here, and any effect that we add into these slots will be applied to everything on audio track 6. And doing this will allow us to add our reverb effect. So I'm gonna click on this slot right here, go to reverb, and then add a studio reverb. Now we're gonna change the settings in a sec, but before I do that, we need to do one more thing. I'm going to come back to our project bin over here, and I'm gonna create a transparent video. Then I'm gonna drag this onto the end of our timeline, and this will allow us to have the reverb echo after our video ends. So I've applied our reverb, and I have the transparent video, but it's still not ready. We need to do one more thing, which is double clicking on the studio reverb and then bumping up the decay as much as possible, and then upping the wet value as well on the bottom there. And now if we play this back, you can hear we have an echo at the end there. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna trim this audio clip down so that we don't have two audio clips playing at the same time. But now if we play this back, we have a much more natural ending to this video. Now this is already really good, but if we drag the transparent video so that it's shorter, you can hear that the reverb echo doesn't have enough time to fully die out. And there's one way we can fix this. So let's do Option plus on our keyboard to make these audio tracks larger, and keep hitting Option plus until you see these little keyframe icons show up here. Now, if you don't see these at all, then you need to right click in this space right here, go to Customize, and then drag the Show Keyframes button into this area. Then you can click OK. Great, so now that we have this, we need to click on this button, and we'll see that it says Clip Keyframes. And then come down to Track Keyframes and Volume. And this will display a white bar across our audio layer 6 here. And if we zoom in, just pressing the plus key on our keyboard, you'll see that we can drag this bar down or up. And when I do this, it changes the dB level, which is basically how loud or quiet the audio is. But to fade this really cool echoey reverb out, we want to start at the normal audio level and then go down to a really quiet dB level. So I can do this by setting keyframes here. And to set keyframes, I can press Command, and you'll see this little plus icon next to your cursor show up. And I'm gonna set a keyframe right here where I want our audio to sound normal. And then I'll hold Command again and come to the end and set another keyframe here. And then I can click on this keyframe and drag it downwards. And you'll see that the dB level goes down to -30, -43 here. And now if we play this back, it has that reverb echo, but it also has a really smooth fade out. We did it. That is audio editing in Premiere Pro and everything I wish I knew as a beginner when I was first starting using the software. Thanks again to Audio for sponsoring this video. And again, if you want 70% off your first year, you can use the link in the description and use my code at checkout. And if you want to learn Premiere Pro, you can check out this video right here where you're going to learn much more than just audio editing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.